Appleton Farms in Ipswich, Massachusetts is the oldest continuous running farm in the United States, established in 1638. For the Trustees Art in the Landscape program, Perch encapsulates their mission of tying together the threads of art, nature, and community. Appleton Farms, with its rich history and abounding biodiversity that has persisted here, though at serious risk unless actively tended to, compelled artist Shin to create a site-specific work highlighting the robust and generative agricultural and ecological work, as well as their intersections at the farm, all speaking to broader ecological and societal concerns. Hi, I'm Jessica Hong, and I am the Senior Curator of Modern and Contemporary Art at the Toledo Museum of Art and the Guest Curator for Perch. As the curator for the Perch project, when I was invited to propose a project by the trustees for their Art in the Landscape program in 2020, I immediately thought of Shin as her approach and practice beautifully weaves together the Art in the Landscape's mission of tying the threads together of art, nature, and community.
Hi, my name is Shin. I'm an artist based in Brooklyn and Hudson Valley, New York. I create large-scale installations and art projects, often site-specific, and really looking at material discards and seeing the environmental consequences of them.
My name is Alejandro Brambilla. My role at the Trustees is as an agroecologist. My role in the Perch project is sharing the story of how we're working to manage for grassland birds at our farm properties and helping to inform what might be interesting and useful locations for our art installations.
Hi, my name is Julie Richburg. I'm lead ecologist for inland natural resources with the Trustees of Reservations. My role in working with Perch has been from starting initial conversations with Shin as she was developing the project, educating her about the bobolinks and grassland birds, some of the issues that we've had around managing grasslands, and giving the ecological perspective on why these birds are important and why these habitats are important.
My name is Zoe McKay, and I'm the Assistant Livestock and Pasture Manager here at Appleton Farms. I was a voice of guidance in the Perch project. I helped winnow down locations for the installation within our pastures and hayfields, making sure that the installation captured not only what we were trying to achieve with wildlife observation, but also worked well with our grazing and haying practices.
The story behind Perch is to highlight a threatened bird, a migrating songbird known as the bobolinks. And I wanted to feature them because they have chosen Appleton as a special site, a place in which they visit during their long migration to build their nest. My role is to make a public work that can kind of address these larger issues that are happening and the deep things that they want to see changed. So I landed on the bobolinks, so conceiving of this concept as a central role as an artist and to bring people together. And in the 3 years that I've worked on this project is to try to build trust, build relationships where people can work together in a different capacity because they've never made art together, and I certainly haven't done it on a farm.
With the Perch project, we're focusing in on bobolinks, which are a grassland-dependent bird. They actually migrate from New England down to South America for the winter. They return in the early spring, set up nesting territories within our fields here at Appleton Farms, raise their young, and then will flock up and return back to South America. They're one of the longest bird migrants in the world.
I think it's really important to remember that in the context of this particular project, the bobolinks wouldn't be nesting here. They wouldn't be returning to these spaces if we didn't have ruminants grazing these pastures and if we weren't haying these fields. They wouldn't have the wide open spaces that they require. And so if we didn't maintain these practices in a way that works with, the existing wildlife and the landscape that we have, then we wouldn't have the species returning to us here and again.
I think farms like Appleton, there's actually an opportunity to build on what we're doing for grassland bird conservation through agriculture that's actually additive, because the grassland habitat's in decline as agriculture has been in decline, and most of the remnants of grassland that are around today are either in conservation land or exist as farms. And the more that we can engage with agriculture, we have kind of an additional opportunity to support grassland conservation.
Perch explores broader thematics of regeneration, sustainability, temporality, and ultimately care. This project is meant to highlight the incredible collaborations that are happening at Appleton Farms and the possibility of an artistic gesture like Perch to be able to bring all of these incredible elements and components together.
The purpose of the perch, there's two parts. One are these tree sculptures that will be in the landscape. And they're really following the bird monitoring that's happening at Appleton. So there are these locations where volunteers have gone to look out to the grasslands and to see how many birds there are. And they're literally counting how many they see when they visit. And all this activity is happening, data is being collected, but it's invisible. And I wanted the perch to be a site. From that point, visitors can look out to see 50 meters, which is exactly what the data drives, so that we can all participate in this.
With Shin's focus on sustainability, the materials choices that she makes is also really critical. So all of the materials that you see here, including the tree elements, are found elements throughout the farm and across the region, including the salvaged and recycled copper that you'll see as part of the tree cookies, that in addition to being beautiful, they are essentially these devices, these elements that help heal the wounds of the trees themselves.
The process for creating the perches with found and natural materials, I was drawn to this fallen tree in the landscape. It was a red oak. And so I went to inspect it, and we cut up the tree with a local tree service. And in the process, it's like a dissection to see, what happened to this tree, what causes death. You'll see a lot of rot. Internally, it's just this big hole. But we also discovered that it became a new habitat for, other species. We wanted to show this larger ecosystem at work. Another component is the fence rails. Appleton has these beautiful fence wood that was milled from old American chestnut trees. I wanted to kind of talk about these old trees that are no longer with us, to create perch sculptures where a ghostly chestnut tree is offering a productive structure for bobolinks to perch on. It really speaks to the need for biodiversity and this kind of strange two species talking to each other, maybe hoping that they don't become the next American chestnut lost in its extinction. There's a real function to the sculptures, and the perch is really for the birds. The tree cookies, of course, off the grassland are for humans to visit and do the same sort of citizen science monitoring, and also being sort of an observation marking point, so we can participate in observing these beautiful birds. The last material is copper. I've always associated farmland with old copper pipes, which we have stopped using for the most part. But if you go to a farmland, most homesteads have copper piping. And so we collected them from scrap yards. It's really speaking to an old history and how nature works with humans, and especially a story that we wanted to tell about farmers.
Perch has been this incredible generative collaboration with a diverse array of individuals and teams. I'm really excited to share with you all. And it's through Shin's practice that we were able to come together. I think that what this demonstrates is the power of art and artists, the ability for us to convene and for these incredible artistic endeavors to inspire, to help spark conversation, which could even lead to galvanizing an action.
So I'm really excited to see Perch because of the vision of Shin in bringing nature and the tension that we have as humans in managing these habitats.
I'm excited to see art in nature because I like to it shows me that there is an appreciation of people beyond those of us that are just working in the field and caring for that land, it's kind of like a visual representation of that care that we have for the land.
So art in the landscape to me is a conversation starter, one that will hopefully bring people a little bit closer to how agriculture functions here and how agriculture and ecology can work in the same direction. I'm really excited to see how the information that is gathered can impact our practices going forward.
I would love visitors to come to Perch and be able to slow down, to perch, to sit, to wait, and to be with, and to be so present. It features the bobolinks, and their populations are in decline. So I'm hoping the visitor really cares about biodiversity, that we can think about how our behavior might change this landscape for the better, and for it to be a regenerative, more sustainable space for all species.